If you're watching this video, the likelihood is you are not colorblind. However, we're going to be watching a video today that will let us see what it's like to be colorblind. And we're also going to be taking a colorblind test because you never know. Maybe some of us are colorblind without even realizing. For those of you that don't know, there's different variations of being colorblind. If you look on screen here, you can see some of them. Sometimes it changes colors to be completely different. Sometimes it's just different shade of one color. Either way, being colorblind definitely sucks. If you believe you're not colorblind, give this video a big fat thumbs up. Let's see how many of you guys watching this video are not colorblind. And we're going to start it off with a test just to make sure that we aren't. All right, I'm very clearly seeing a 9 here and an 8. Ooh, different colors going on, but that's a 5 for sure. Number 1, number 4. Are you guys getting the same answers as me? Number 6, 2. That one's close for me. That one's really clear. 2, another 2, 5, number 2. Oh, number 4. That one's a little bit tougher. Number 8, but I definitely can't see any other numbers. The numbers I'm seeing are very obvious to me. Are you guys getting the same answers as me as well? So far, everything's pretty clear. That one, not too much, but I can still make out what number it is. I think this is the last one. That one is a tough one. Number 8. Oh my gosh, I think that's a number 7, 6. Your result is normal color vision. Okay, so I'm good. However, statistically, 1 in 12 men are colorblind. Maybe some of you guys are realizing you're colorblind. Now, I've got another test here that's harder than the last one and will give us an example of how colorblind people actually see this as well. You guys can play along with me. All we've got to do is find the gap, which I can see is just there, but it ain't easy. Ooh, and then just here. Is this messing with anyone else's eyes a little bit? It's not easy at all. It's harder than the last one we've done. It's all starting to get so tough. Can we get all of them? Oh my gosh, where is the gap in that one? Is it here? Oh my, this is getting impossible. I'm starting to think I'm colorblind. We did it. Oh my gosh. That got really tough though. There's another test, but this one's a lot easier. It's just greens and reds. That one's not too hard. But if you look on screen here, you can see how different types of colorblind people, for example, if we just see loads of greens rather than greens and reds, loads of blues instead of purples and blues, or even lots of grays rather than greens and purples. That one's the worst. And then the one that we just did, that really hard one, although even to me, who I don't think I'm colorblind, it was pretty close between the purples and reds. To a colorblind person, it would all be red. So the colorblind variation is absolutely massive. However, I've got something even cooler to show you guys to give you a real representation of what it's like to be colorblind. So now that we've made sure that I'm not colorblind, we're gonna take a look at a video that's got a filter on it that's gonna make all of us watching become colorblind. Essentially, we're gonna be sorting M&Ms into different color piles as if we're a colorblind person. At the end, we will reveal the real colors to see if we're right or not. We're gonna be doing this with a colorblind person to see how he sorts it and see if we agree. Let's do this.
I can usually see blues pretty well.
Blues are dead on.
Yellows pretty well, especially because they're lighter. A lot of people don't think
Definitely
about this,
looks yellow.
but colorblind people often tell colors apart by how dark or light they are.
That makes sense.
And so like these ones are dark,
that?
even though I can't really tell what color they are. Like maybe black or brown, but they're darker than the rest, so you can still tell them apart.
Now, we can obviously see that these are a certain set of colors. Do you guys know what it is? We'll look at the actual colors at the end, guys, so stick around to see what colors we're actually looking at.
So I'm going to start with the blues because I can see that color really, really well, and that's why it's my favorite color. You'll see blue on everything if you go on my social medias.
What's your favorite color, guys? I love blue. All right, so he's gotten all the blues right, or what seem to be blues to him and us right now.
Okay, now I'm gonna move on to the lighter M&Ms, the yellow ones.
Okay.
So I can see this color,
a little bit more
but
obvious.
I don't think it's the same as everyone else can see it. I don't think I can see it as vibrantly as everyone else can, but I can definitely see the color yellow.
Yeah.
Weep.
All right, so he's put 4 in that category. But these, to him, as a colorblind person, also look like yellow. But as he said, like different shades of yellow. So how's he going to group them?
The next easiest one for me to tell apart is the dark ones.
Yeah.
I don't think M&Ms have a flavor, but these are like brown, I think. And in my very first M&M video, people got really mad at me for calling them purple because I always eat Skittles rather than M&Ms. So I'm used to grape Skittles. And so I just called them purple, like out of habit. even though I know they're not purple because I can see the color purple. But a lot of people got really upset with me. Weep.
So he's saying this isn't the color
cool,
purple.
Those are all set. I'm just gonna move these all.
I don't know M&M colors well enough. I'd say maybe that's a red. Maybe, I don't know. What do you guys reckon?
Okay, now I have this group right here.
Oh, these ones
The
are
next
a little bit
easiest
harder.
one is oranges for me.
We're now left with the batch here. If we were trying to sort this out, guys, what would you do? This is what I do. I think this one, this one, this one, and this one. I think those 4 would be grouped together. And then these 4 here on the edges would be grouped together. What colors they actually are, I don't know, but I think that's how I'd separate them personally. Let's see how somebody that's colorblind does it.
The hardest part. I'm just gonna move these all aside for a second so we can really focus.
Okay, they've all been mixed up a little bit, but I'm just gonna say these ones and then these 5 separately.
So I am red-green colorblind, so these do look the same color to me. And usually, for me anyway, all colorblindness is different. But for me, I can tell colors apart if they're bright enough. So if there's like a stoplight and it's like the glowing neon green, I can probably tell that it's green.
So the brighter colors, the more impactful, saturated colors are easier to see. But when you get to these darker, dimmer colors, I mean, obviously we can tell it's not that easy.
Or if it's glowing red, I can probably tell that it's red. Also, colorblind people drive because the red light's on the top and the green light's on the bottom. So driving's not a difficulty.
That's a good safety point. You just know it in an order rather than a color. Interesting.
Problem with M&Ms is that they're not particularly like neon. They're not extremely bright. So I can't really tell the color of them. They just look like I think the equivalent of, I think that these in your eyes, like if you were looking through my eyes, you would see these as brown. So these are like tan to me, I think. But they look all the same, especially because these 2 are like the same shade, at least in this lighting. In some lighting, one of them looks darker and one of them looks lighter, depending on what lighting you're using. But in this lighting I'm in, and in most lighting, like most natural lighting, it looks the same. It looks like the exact same, you know, gradient. So I'm gonna give it my best shot. I kind of just play it by ear. Some of them are a little bit like, some of them are a little bit darker than the other ones.
We're gonna let him separate them.
So I usually take the darker ones and make those
and
reds.
see if we agree
really, there's not
with his
that
decision.
Much. There's really, it's mostly guessing. But I think one of these days, people will see me on TikTok sorting things, and I'll just get lucky. And then people will be like, oh my god, his color blindness is cured, which will not be the case.
I don't agree with this at all. I'd put these 3 on the other side, and I'd take this top one and bottom one and put them in here. Let's see if we're right or not, though.
I definitely did guess on most of this, so I have no way of knowing. So I think that these ones are the greens, and these ones are the reds. Then I'll bring all the other ones back in here.
So this is the final product of all of this sorting. I agreed with everything, and maybe you guys did, up until the end. And now we're going to revert it back to normal color vision, see if we're right, and see if a colorblind person's right as well. So here we go, guys, transforming from a colorblind vision to normal vision. Whoa, okay, I think we got the difference in these piles correct. Oh, so blue and yellow, they look like blue and yellow anyway. And actually, this brown was a brown, but the greens and reds are so similar. The orange definitely didn't look orange. And it just goes to show you how hard it is to see colors and differentiate colors if you're colorblind. Now, in an almost exactly the same test, here we've got starbursts. I think they're like mini starbursts. And we're seeing it basically with like almost no color, just shades, to see how, again, another colorblind person will separate them and see if we agree with him.
This will be the green pile, and this will be the light pink.
Now, the cool thing is, as he's going through and separating these colors, he's actually going to put on colorblind glasses. Like, he actually uses colorblind glasses to be able to see colors properly because his normal eyes cannot. We're going to be revealing together with him and with us how well he's done. Now, going on shade alone, I can see that this one doesn't look quite right. This one definitely doesn't look quite right. These 2 piles look fairly good, but we're literally just going on shades alone. It isn't very easy to tell, but with colorblind glasses, are we right? And is he right? Those are some fine colorblind glasses. Ooh, so the top one was exactly right. I think we called that one as being wrong and this one as being wrong. I can't lie, I didn't realize that within the bottom 2 layers, there was a mixture of greens and pinks. Like, if we go back, I mean, I can kind of tell there's some difference going on in the colors there. Definitely not in that one. Guys, how did you do? This is just mind-blowing how tough it actually is to be colorblind. Let me know how you did on the test. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed and subscribe for more crazy videos just like this one. Goodbye.